Yes, he's gone. Have you looked outside the window? Where he went?
So, what happens next?
We'll see.
Thank you for your emotional support, Mike.
What happened tonight? None of this would have happened if you weren't with me.
You crossed a line. You're not going to do it again.
How many times has he crossed a line in this show? Just to find another line he could cross.
Good night.
She really just let him sit there in the dark?
Does Varga know there's going to be an assassination?
No one's told him, but he can make a pretty damn good guess.
Perhaps there is a way to make use of this situation.
Excuse me, what assassination?
They're the best in their business. But the one thing they do not have is a man on the inside.
Okay, so there will be an assassination and Nacho will save Lalo. I'm pretty sure that's how it's going to play out. Even though Gus obviously intends the opposite. Where did you switch cars? Where's Nacho's car? Dude, please stop shooting the trees. They've done nothing to you.
Ciro, Miguel, Gerardo, Raul, and all the rest of these fools, they're supposed to be guarding this place, but I just keep them around because they're so pretty.
Yeah, nobody really guards anything, right?
24-hour room service. Hey, what could be more luxurious than to spend a whole day being totally pampered and end it all with a midnight cheeseburger?
I have clients.
Yeah.
Bring them. We have enough money to pay the room service for all of them.
Not good enough. No. You know what? We are going to talk about this face to face. You tell me where you are. I will come to you. Hello?
Good luck getting answers out of Mike.
I'm looking for something specific.
I got you. So plain old indigents are not good enough for you. You want the clients that'll get you, you know, in here.
I'll take 20. Today.
20 felonies.
Yes.
Is this her coping mechanism? Occupying her mind? So she doesn't have to think about what happened? Or what could happen?
If you feel like you do want juveniles.
No, thank you.
If he doesn't like me?
You'll be fine. Give me the socket wrench.
Did his phone just vibrate? I thought there's no service here.
Tiene por lo menos 7 hombres aquí, pero también hay varios ancianos que nunca le han hecho nada a nadie.
Thank you for that information. Back to no service. What the hell?
Have you met my associates? Paul Shepard and Michelle Avila?
I don't think so. Hi.
Nice to meet you.
Man, this elevator's moving slow.
Guys.
Now it turned to 2.
I'm actually not at Schweikart anymore. Or in banking.
It takes about 10 seconds for one floor. Christ.
What's up?
I wasn't going to say anything.
So I'm going to do it anyway.
A little while ago, I offered Jimmy a job at HHM. But then the very next night, he threw bowling balls over my front gate. A couple of weeks later, I'm having lunch with Cliff Main, and I'm accosted by 2 prostitutes. Actual prostitutes.
Can you believe that? I've never seen one live in my life.
And that's it?
No big deal, as usual.
We are talking about someone who's not in control of himself. It makes no sense to drop a client like Mesa Verde. I gotta think Jimmy had something to do with that.
Do you have any idea how insulting that is?
The man needs help.
I know, Jimmy, and you're wrong.
I just hope she doesn't really think like that.
I want to talk to you!
Is he at Mike's place?
What? You didn't think I'd find your ultra-secret bat cave?
It's called Mike Cave. Dude, have you thought about that he might not be home?
I'm not going anywhere! I mean it! I got nowhere to be!
Lalo Salamanca is going to die. Tonight.
Tonight?
Nope. Obviously not. I mean, we all know about that Breaking Bad scene. And what Saul said in that scene. So, he can die here. Neither can Nacho.
¿Qué pasó, mi don? ¿Cómo está? Charlie Manson.
He's everyone's friend, apparently.
Mira quién es. Don Eladio. Este es el hombre. Sí, Bolsa. Esto es showmanship.
Quiero tomar mis propias decisiones, seguir mi propio camino. Yo no quiero tener que estar viendo por encima de mis hombros.
No quieres estar viendo por encima de tus hombros. Estás en el negocio equivocado, mi amigo.
That's what I thought.
We're safe?
Yeah.
What a relief. So now we can talk about Howard. And what you did. And why you did it.
It's over.
This time.
There's not going to be a next time.
Has he already packed his bags? To leave her?
We should probably just check out and go home. I packed my stuff. I think I got yours too.
What about the spa and all that?
The room service.
We haven't even tried room service.
There you go.
Don't you just want to go home?
Why do you want to go home so urgently all of a sudden?
I'm hungry, Jimmy. And there is nothing to eat at home anyway, so why not?
Let's dine like kings. Like the kings we are.
I ran into Howard at the courthouse today. You know why Hamlin told me all that? For my own good. Like I'm just waiting for him to ride up on his white horse. It's all about him. He needed to be taken down a peg.
Oh, I'm not going to say anything about that.
You went after his car, you went after his reputation, so I think maybe the next thing is his hair.
Are you shitting me? Oh my god. Oh my god.
I already tried like hell to get Sandpiper settled.
Yeah, but you went about it wrong. Forget it. Okay?
Okay.
Season 6, here we come, huh?
Hey.
Hey.
Have a seat.
Who could have seen that coming? That he would stay up all night.
Another night owl, huh? You don't sleep?
Not tonight.
Why not tonight? Hmm?
An hour, maybe two. It's enough.
Dude, that's not healthy.
Got anything stronger?
Now you're talking.
Could you get it for me, please? I keep the fire warm for you. Well, that's going to be suspicious. When Lalo survives.
Adentro en la cocina.
You can't just run off, dude.
Hasta me compré un encendedor. Mire, yo no fui.
Oh. Someone will have to eat that. With his entire face. Man, if Mexicans can do one thing, it's building tunnels.
When?
One of you should look behind. Yeah, impossible to miss them in this tunnel. Man, he doesn't even need Nacho's help.
We would have to hurt him. Hurt him bad. At the end of it, he might never be able to practice law again. He doesn't deserve that.
We're talking about a career setback. A career setback.
Oh my god. She's becoming completely unlikable. If she will actually talk him into it. Okay. A new day. A new dawn. A new recording. And the moment we've all been waiting for. The end of the season, when I have to give a final statement. I'm sure a lot of you have been looking forward to this after the last 2 episodes. You people, you. Let's start at the beginning. I thought the start of the season was the best start to any Better Call Saul season. The first 2-3 episodes. So, there's that. But then, my problem started. The first problem was the entire Ecker versus Mesa Verde case. Which I just couldn't get behind. Because I never felt like Kim's motives were reasonably explored. Sure, they gave us that little childhood story of hers, but even now I don't think that's good enough to explain how obsessed she was with that case. What it does explain is that she went back to Ecker that one night to show him some houses. She looked up for him. Fine. But then he continued to act like an asshole who doesn't have any legal claim whatsoever, shut her down, shat on her childhood story. And this is the moment where I need an explanation. An explanation that explains why she continued after that. Continued to help him after that. Sure, you could say that at this point it wasn't about Ecker anymore. It was about herself, proving herself, because Ecker said something like, she's like all the rest of the lawyers out there. So, okay, that can be a motive, that she just was in for herself. But at the same time, she still helped him. He still benefited from her actions, without even knowing that it was her who helped. So that doesn't quite make sense to me. Because there's still something like sympathies, which we act on. You know, the more we like a person, the more we are willing to do something for them. But that Acker guy, like I said, complete asshole, plus no legal claim whatsoever, and she still helped him. And it's not good enough to just say she was in for herself, because he still benefited from what she did. So, there's that. I think they could have easily let Kim prove herself to herself by doing something else, whatever. Make something else up. I don't care. But not by helping Acker. Not if he was an unlikable asshole from the start to the end. Doesn't work for me. And that was pretty much the focus of the entire middle of the season, so yeah. Next problem started when Lalo was sent to prison. From that moment onwards, and I can't really explain it, but from that moment onwards, the writing felt constructed. Like things happened, so other things could happen, so other things could happen, and so on, and so on. I'm building a nice chain of events here. Understand what I mean? It wasn't really too bad, but I still felt it, and you shouldn't feel it. Even though most stories work like that in the end, you shouldn't feel it in the moment. But I kind of felt it. Like, let's get Lalo in prison, so we can get him out of prison, for which we need Saul, who needs to arrange the bail, which he needs to pick up himself, so he can get ambushed and saved and traumatized, so Lalo gets suspicious and confronts him and Kim, so Kim can snap at him and talk about trust. So he takes Nacho to Mexico, so Nacho can finally betray him. So Lalo goes after him in the next season. That chain of events, it's just a tad too obvious, the setup of it. And since I've already mentioned the end, Nacho's betrayal, I gotta say, this final episode felt kind of forced. That chain of events I just described, and how it felt slightly constructed, it never really felt forced, just a bit constructed. This final episode, however, that felt forced. Considering how last episode ended, I just don't buy it that Lalo's next step, after having been told off by Kim, is to bring Nacho to Mexico to get to know his family and meet Don Eladio. Let's remember here that the reason why he went to Jimmy and Kim was to find out about what happened in Mexico, what happened with the pickup. And he completely dropped that after Kim told him off. Even though there's no way he could have bought their story. He must think at this point that something happened and that Jimmy got out of it, that someone helped him. So, what was his plan then? Let's take Nacho to Mexico. For what reasons? So he could betray him. No, forced. I just don't buy it that he all of a sudden drops his entire investigation just to get Nacho acquainted with Don Eladio. He couldn't trust Nacho before, apparently, but just because Kim told him about his trust issues, he suddenly decides, right there on the spot, to trust Nacho from now on. No. I mean, if all we needed was an excuse to get Nacho to Mexico, where he could betray Lalo, then we could have dropped that entire trust issue. Lalo could have been convinced of Nacho's loyalty after one of the earlier episodes, when Nacho went in that house to get the drugs, that house the DEA was about to storm. That could have been proof enough for him. But instead of letting actions speak, instead of letting actions convince Lalo, what it took in the end to convince him was Kim's speech. No. And speaking of Kim, her final transformation here in this episode, that one felt forced too. All of a sudden, she's become a second Saul. But apparently with even less morals? How is that even possible? Now it kind of feels like the main focus of the entire season was to let Kim break bad and become a second Saul. But we don't need a second Saul. One is enough. And it also kind of takes away from any kind of conflict these two can have. I mean, by now we know that nothing could possibly happen to push Kim away from Jimmy. Which is kind of weird. There have been so many times in this show, not just this season, that seemed like their relationship reached a breaking point, just so they could make up rather fast and get even tighter. It's kind of become the MO of the show, that their relationship is indestructible. Kind of like other shows give plot armors to characters so they can't die. This show has given their relationship a plot armor. Funny enough, I even know why they do it like that. Before this season, I read an interview. I don't know who got interviewed, whether it was Peter or Vince, one of them. And he said they never expected Kim's story to go this far. And that they just fell in love with that character and writing for that character. All of a sudden it made sense that they've always written her in a way to get even tighter with Jimmy, despite everything that happens around them. And this season is pretty much the ultimate proof of that. So I really hope that they can free themselves of that love and take her where she needs to go. Where she needs to go now. And where she needs to go is downhill. Because in this episode, she reached a high point. Right now, she's so full of herself, because she managed to talk down Lalo, that she just has to be punished for that. And since the very end of this season was like a reversal of last season's end, I kinda expect a reversal of the Mesa Verde case here. When it was about Mesa Verde, it was Jimmy who continued, even though Kim wanted to stop. And now with Howard, it seems like it's heading towards something with Howard. And with Howard, it would be Kim who continues, even though Jimmy wants to stop. That seems like a logical continuation of this reversal strategy they have been going on. However, if they really do that, the end result just has to be different. With Mesa Verde, Kim didn't really care about it that much, because for her it was more about the trust between her and Jimmy, because it's the show's MO to always push her towards him. But with the Howard case, if it really happens like that, like a reversal, then Jimmy, I want to say must. He must end it there. He sees Kim has gone too far and ends it for her own good. I'm not quite sure how that would end with Saul being the Breaking Bad Saul, but something has to happen between these two. It can't just go on like this forever. That they get tighter and tighter, no matter what they do. And I don't see that they're in any danger. That maybe this entire cartel storyline could separate them by maybe killing Kim. I don't see that happening. So the separation must come from within. Okay, so final topic. tension. And when it comes to tension, I don't understand why they are writing this show like Breaking Bad never existed. Objectively, they are doing a great job of building up tense moments. However, due to Breaking Bad, that tension doesn't work for me personally. I mean, tension is all about anticipation. The fear of what could happen. And I don't fear for anyone here. Not in the way they are setting all these moments up. It would work if I wasn't aware of Breaking Bad. I can see that. But I'm aware of Breaking Bad. And I'm aware of that scene from season 2 of Breaking Bad, when Saul mentions Lalo and Ignacia. So that's why the past 3 episodes, 8, 9, and 10, didn't work for me in terms of tension at all. And I'm a bit surprised that apparently hardly anyone else has that problem. There was no way anything could have happened to Jimmy and Mike in episode 8. There's no way anything could have happened to Lalo and Nacho in this episode. And there was only a very slim chance of anything happening to Kim last episode. But apparently nobody really saw that. I don't know why. I don't understand it. Saul is safe as long as nobody calls him Gene. Mike is safe as long as he avoids meeting Walter White near a river. Lalo is safe as long as Saul is in the room. Because Saul must think Lalo's still alive in Breaking Bad. So that setup they had there in the last episode, it didn't give me any reason to believe that something could happen to Kim. With Mike having Lalo in his crosshairs and Saul being present in the room, there just, well, I don't want to say no chance, but only a very, very small chance that something could happen to Kim. Because if Lalo had done something to Kim right there, Mike would have killed him. I'm pretty sure he was prepared to do that. Otherwise, why would he bring a sniper rifle? And that was actually the main problem for me in that episode, that Mike was present there with a sniper rifle. There was absolutely no need for that. Objectively, yes, there was a reason. Because objectively, for people who are not aware of Breaking Bad, or who have just forgotten about that one scene in Breaking Bad, for them it would look like, ooh, Kim could die, Lalo could die, but no, they couldn't really die. So that's the point where I don't understand the writers. Why they are still writing it like Breaking Bad is not a thing. Specifically in that moment, there was no reason for Mike to be there. I mean, they must be aware that the target audience of this show are people who know Breaking Bad. So there was no need for Mike in that scene. Leave him out of there and anything could happen to Kim. But put him in there and hardly anything could happen to her. Maybe a punch or a bitch slap, but that would have been it. So that's pretty much what killed that moment for me in terms of tension. What killed these last 3 episodes for me in terms of tension. Writing that doesn't take into account that Breaking Bad is a thing. Last episode could have ended on an insane cliffhanger had they left Mike out of it. Just imagine Mike's not there with a sniper rifle. No safety net for Kimmy. And of course she's having her big moment. It's all over Lalo, making pretty much fun of him, ridiculing him, a murderer with a pistol, and she's telling him to get his house in order. Pretty disrespectful. Doesn't matter whether Lalo deserves disrespect on a personal level or not, he's still a murderer with a pistol, so she's disrespecting him, tells him, get your shit together, pretty much. I'm paraphrasing. So she tells him that, and the moment she does, Lalo punches her. She falls to the ground. Shaken, shocked, bloody nose. Jimmy's like, hey, what the fuck, man? I told you this story 3 times. Lalo, calm as ever, pulls out his gun, aims it at Kim, looks over to Jimmy, and tells him, tell me the story again. One last time. Cut to black. People would have gone nuts, and don't tell me otherwise. The anticipation for the finale would have been off the charts. And no, a cliffhanger like that wouldn't be cheap. Not if it sets up a season finale. That's perfectly fine. But instead of that or something similar, they gave us Safety Net Mike and Gentleman Lalo. And the result was that people pretty much talked themselves into a high anticipation of events that would never go down anyway. Like, I've seen it a couple of times that people worried about Kim after Lalo already walked out the door. Once he walked out the door, the danger was gone. Why would Kim be in any danger now? Or that people were worried about Nacho. And I already explained why Nacho wasn't really in danger. Plus, he didn't even know about the bail, so why would he be in any danger after Kim's speech? So yeah, this entire topic of tension and anticipation, I don't get it. I don't understand the writers in that regard. I don't really understand many people's perception of the writing in terms of tension. Yeah, so I don't know. Oh yeah, and Bagman. That episode could have been a real masterpiece too, had they just put in someone whose life actually matters, whose survival is in doubt. That's what I mean. Instead, they gave us Jimmy and Mike. We knew nothing would happen. We knew they would get out of it. We pretty much knew Jimmy would get some PTSD after that. Pretty much everything went as expected, except for Jimmy drinking his own piss. It wouldn't even been hard to do something different. Just get Mike out of there, get Nacho in there, drop that entire trust issue topic I already talked about earlier. You know, if Lalo would have trusted Nacho at that point already, he could have sent him with Jimmy to the pickup. So Jimmy learns the rope so he can become their go-to lawyer in the future, something like that. It would have required a different setup, some changes in the previous episodes, prior to episode 8, but you could have done it easily. Actually, with some changes here and there, that could have been a season finale episode, had they just raised the stakes somehow. I mean, the way they wrote it, there was nothing at stake. Jimmy and Mike were safe, and whether the money got to Lalo or not didn't really matter. But get Jimmy and Nacho in there. Maybe putting Kim in danger, or putting Nacho's father in danger, if the money doesn't arrive in time. It's just something like that, and it could have been an epic season finale. Would have required some major changes, actually, to the episodes that came before, but it could have been an outstanding finale. And not just a setup episode like this one. Just imagine that at the end of that imaginary episode, Nacho's father would die. Due to whatever. Because the money didn't arrive in time. It would have been an explosive finale with a dramatic ending that would have set up the rivalry between Nacho and Lalo. That's about to come anyway. Would have freed Nacho from Gus and give him the chance to go after Lalo. Instead, now we have Lalo coming for Nacho. I think I would have preferred to see Nacho go after Lalo, not the other way around. Although Lalo might end up killing Nacho's father now anyway, so he can go after Lalo anyway. But I just think they could have done much more with Nacho in general. Most of this season from Nacho's perspective, was pretty much just him asking to get out, him reporting on Lalo's activities, and him driving Lalo around. So, once again, there's the question of, why are they writing the show like Breaking Bad is not a thing? Why are they putting so much emphasis on characters who are safe anyway, instead of giving more story to someone like Nacho? That's all I have. Yeah,